you have a narrative that's put out there, and guess what? It's at the beginning of Pride Month and all the things that happened, and now this guy's going to be a martyr for this. We saw this story recently in the last day or so. The King of the Hill voice actor was killed in San Antonio shooting. This is the guy who played John Redcorn here. Did you see this story, Lunduke?
Oh, that's horrible, man. I mean, to start with, King of the Hill is great, and King of the Hill is coming back. It's crazy that one of the voice actors gets killed. Like, was it like 2 days after they announce that King of the Hill is coming back?
Yes.
It's crazy timing.
Well, they released the intro for the show, and we promptly got flagged for playing the intro on the show, Blabs, which was great. So we won't do that again. But the intro does look great. So John Redcorn is a regular character on the show. He's played by this guy, Jonathan Joss, or at least was. So San Antonio police were called to a shooting on Dorsey Drive in the the city's south side at 7 p.m. on June 1st. So when the officers arrived, they found Joss near the road. He was later pronounced dead. He had taken a couple bullets right here. And there's a lot of talk about what happened. This is what we don't know. Police have not released any details about the circumstances of the shooting, except for one, which is very, very important. But as you can see down here, Jonathan Joss's, quote, husband, Tristan Kern de Gonzalez, released a statement here about what happened. And Blabs, this is a long statement. I'm going to let you read it because I can't read. So I want you to read the statement here as best.
Can you bring that image in another one? That's really small.
Sure. And if I do that, it goes right here. So
even better statement. Okay. Statement from Tristan Kern de Gonzalez, husband of Jonathan Joss.
Yes.
Let me scroll.
Uh-oh.
Can you zoom out? Like hit
no, control, I don't know if I can.
Control minus.
There we go. That's better.
He's learning. Okay. Just
internet.
Learning so much today, Craig. Milk, minuses. Anyway, my husband, Jonathan Joss, and I were involved in a shooting while checking the mail at the site of our former home. That home was burned down after over 2 years of threats from people in the area who repeatedly told us they would set it on fire. We reported these threats to law enforcement multiple times and nothing was done. Throughout that time, we were harassed regularly by individuals who made it clear they did not accept our relationship. Much of the harassment was openly homophobic. Damn. When we returned to the site to check our mail, we discovered the skull of one of our dogs and its harness placed in clear view. This caused both of us severe emotional distress. How do you, was this dog missing? Was it killed the day of?
I don't know, keep reading. I'm sorry. I don't mean to derail it. This is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. We began yelling and crying in response to the pain of what we saw. While we were doing this, a man approached us. He started yelling violent homophobic slurs at us. He then raised a gun from his lap and fired. Jonathan and I had no weapons. We were not threatening anyone. We were grieving. We were standing side by side. When the man fired, Jonathan pushed me out of the way. He saved my life. Jesus. Jonathan is my husband. He gave me more love in our time together than most people ever get. We were newlyweds. We picked Valentine's Day. We were in the process of looking for a trailer and planning our future. He was murdered by someone who could not stand the sight of two men loving each other. I was with him when he passed. I told him how much he was loved. To everyone who supported him, his fans, his friends, know that he valued you deeply. He saw you as family. My focus now is protecting Jonathan's legacy and honoring the life we built together. If your concern is somehow coped with trauma or how loudly they speak when recounting injustice and being ignored by authorities, then you never truly cared about my husband. Jonathan saved my life. I will carry that forward. I will protect what he built. Tristan Kern de Gonzalez. Jesus Christ.
Heavens.
Okay. So on the surface, that sounds
awful,
right? Now, just curious. Once again, we're talking, this is a man-on-man relationship, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. You love who you want to love. That's fine. Or is it? Because this is Tristan here. Tristan is a woman who transitioned to a man in this situation, obviously with the hormones and such, a trans person here. And on the surface, everything about this sounds really bad, like really, really bad, until you actually go to what the police said about this. And the police have said that there is no evidence indicating that the murder of Jonathan Joss was related to a sexual orientation or hate crime at all, right? So once again, going back to the original story here of what, the police not releasing any details. Well, they have released that detail that this was not related to any sort of hate crime or anything like that. So, and to compound this even further, there are also this, once again, take this as a grain of salt. Somebody who may allegedly was a former neighbor came in, and Blabs, I want you to read this statement that they made.
All right, Sammy Vielma says, I lived across this man for years. He started gunfights constantly, and he burnt his own house down trying to make a meth lab inside. He constantly threatened his surrounding neighbors and played victim when cops came. Many neighbors have video proof of his torment. He used to throw bricks through my window and tore several mailboxes down. He was armed when he was shot and killed. And no one on that block ever yelled homophobic slurs at him. It was a lie from his husband for sympathy. Holy shit! What?
Wait, so are they saying that this voice actor was trying to make meth labs?
What is this, Breaking Bad? What the frick?
Has this been like substantiated from any other source other than this statement?
Yeah, these are just screenshots of like random people on the internet. How do we even like verify them? By the way, I don't think any sound's coming from Craig.
No sound is coming from Craig. It's for the best.
Yeah, it's for the better. Now, you're right. None of this this is just a screenshot, and I said take it with a grain of salt, but it has been put out there by there, I'm sure if somebody really wanted to hunt down and find Sammy Velma, they probably could.
Could, yeah.
But there are definite layers to this. There's layers to the story, as always. Now, if you were to go and search John Redcorn on X right now, the overwhelming narrative is that he was killed because of a homophobic hate crime.
Right.
This is if you just continue to scroll, it's all he was gay and that's why he was killed. When once again, going back to this,
he wasn't gay.
Well, that there's truth in that, right? He was messing with a woman who said he was a man, but yeah, once again, the San Antonio Police Department says that it was not related to his sexual orientation at all. Right. So
this smells like a Jussie Smollett. Like,
okay, that's kind of where I was thinking.
Yeah, this smells wrong.
Yes. Yeah. And
something
that's right. Exactly. There's just definitely something to this. Now, disregard, and once again, I just want to show more pictures. They post these online, so I don't have any issue sharing these things. But
no,
obviously a very big age difference between the two. Definitely a mentally well person, both of them, clearly. It's one of those things where you see something that has been put out there, and then a narrative gets hit and it's seen and repeated over and over again. All of a sudden it's trending. And you have a narrative that's put out there, and guess what? It's at the beginning of Pride Month and all the things that happened. And now this guy's going to be a martyr for this. And in reality, you just have a statement from his lover, and
right.
It's really a he said. I guess it's really a she said versus a she said.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you have a neighbor saying one thing allegedly. Right?
It's two chicks talking about a dead guy, and yeah.
The real thing here is the dead dog skull thing. What the fuck is up with that?
So, I mean, it clearly sounds like there's a lot of pre-existing just anger and fighting. We've established that. We've established that the people involved are a bit disturbed, right? Just in general. I mean, we've got a voice actor who's married to a woman much younger. The woman thinks she's a man, and is now making that the central reason why her now dead voice actor husband was killed, when the police are saying that never even happened. That didn't happen that way. And there's murdered animals. And I like, this all sounds insane. What it sounds like is a bunch of crazy people live next door to each other, the movie. And that's what this sounds like to me. But you're right. It's crazy that a story like this with very little backing and 1,000 reasons to disbelieve it takes off as a narrative and now will be forever repeated as a factual statement. The myth will become the reality no matter what the actual facts end up being.
Well, what's interesting here is Dist Optimist came in and says there's a 4-minute video of Joss walking around with a pitchfork and screaming before he was killed on the San Antonio station.
What?
Look it up. I have looked it up, and here it is right here. You can see him. This is 4 minutes long. Let's just play a second or two of this, or just 30 seconds.
Walking down the street right now. Walking, man.
This does not seem, just on the surface, what the lover said happened.
No.
At all.
If he's got a weapon on him,
Good for him. Pitchfork,
maybe
man.
that can kill someone. Maybe someone was
not-
in self-defense.
He's not concealed carrying here. He grabbed a
Yeah.
friggin' pitchfork. I mean, that's
Yeah.
literally like what you do when you need to go murder the Frankenstein's monster is you grab a pitchfork.
Let's continue to see how this escalates.
You don't think? No, especially.
Quiero que lo grabes.
Say what you want, motherfucker.
¿Está grabando?
Walking down the street.
Ok.
No. Woo! You guys are taping me for what? I'm walking down the street. I'm rehearsing.
Ok.
To make movies, man.
Rehearsing.
I'm rehearsing the scene. Let's go. Die.
Y se oye todo lo que está
Was he on drugs? Maybe he had meth.
I'm walking down the street. You're taping me.
He does look kind of messed up.
I feel like that, man. What's it feel like?
Tengo que poner más cerca
Think
la
you're
cámara.
gonna be going somewhere else. What's it feel like, bro? Debbie, yeah, how you feel? That guarantee, boy, when you go to bed, you don't know where you're gonna wake up.
Holy heavens. Okay, so he's grabbed a pitchfork, walking up and down the streets and threatening to murder his neighbors while they're sleeping.
Seems like
That doesn't sound like, oh,
we
we killed
hurt?
him because he's a gay guy. Like, that does not seem like what that is.
Yes,
And
it
he's
doesn't.
got paper in his hands too. So
It doesn't seem. When we returned to the site to check our mail, we discovered the skull of one of our dogs and its harness placed in clear view. This caused both of us. Does this seem? Does any of this line up at all to what you're seeing on this video?
no.
Well, I mean, we don't know what his neighbors are like. We don't know where this dog skull came from. We don't know anything about that. So it just sounds crazy. It just sounds like crazy people doing crazy things and escalating and threatening to kill each other. And then one of them did.
Yeah.
I mean, beyond that, we you know, we'll have to wait and see what the police actually like report and detail. But yeah, this doesn't sound like a simple, oh, some homophobe showed up and he saw two guys giving each other a kiss, so he murdered them. Like that.
Right.
Clearly that's not what happened here. It's much more complicated and weird and probably not anything to do with gay or not gay. That's my
Especially
guess.
because the homophobia is dudes, and that one's literally not a dude, so you can't even use those words.
Well,
It's
protected though. They're protected.
You're right.
protected species.
Yeah.
Let's go and watch the last like 30 because I fast forwarded here. Let's just see if this escalates at all really fast. I don't know. It doesn't look like any shots happen. I kind of pre-screened it, but I haven't actually seen what it says here. So
Guess what? They say change. So keep filming me, boy. Boy.
What?
very aggressive.
Keep
Very
filming, boy.
Puppy says hello.
He's marching back and forth in front of a neighbor's gates with a pitch.
It certainly doesn't seem like he's rehearsing anything.
No.
If he was, he probably stopped at some point.
The dog days.
Yeah.
Especially you would do that like in your own house, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Something
Maybe
that
he's
comes
a
off as
method
aggressive.
actor and he's rehearsing a scene in Frankenstein. He's in a stage production of Frankenstein and he wants
Maybe.
to rehearse. I don't know. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's
There-
nuts.
There's a lot there, man. There's a
That's
lot
nuts.
there. And as always, once again, the narrative online is that he was killed because he was gay. Once again, if you search this at all anywhere, that's what you find, especially on social media. And you can very easily see how these stories get twisted. And somebody in their mind, the 13 million people who saw that story, they say
Yeah.
they did it on pride. it's because he was gay. This is why pride exists. And and then the narrative
fighting to live.
That's right. Then it's like he was killed because he loved a man. And it's like, no, actually he was carrying a pitchfork outside and called him boy and threatened him. And all, it's like, it's wow. So, there's
I don't know about you guys, but I do not want to die by pitchfork while I'm sleeping. That's of the top 10 ways I don't want to go. That's probably on my top 10. I don't want to do that.
Wonder wants to be drowned by a bag of milk.
Yeah, all of my I hope I die this way goals involve a bag of milk. Every single one of them. It gets weird sometimes, but all of them do.
Gotta spice things up, What a way to go.
Y'all are weird. Weird people. YouTube said you should watch this video right here. And as we all know, you should do what YouTube tells you to do.